We've got another afternoon coffee talk for you guys here. Got my Christmas mug. This one is thanks to Brandy because I was not going to make a coffee talk today, but she left me the nicest message, and I thought, oh, hey, make another one. People actually, well, a person liked them. So this is a really good one, and we're going to start off with a story. So we have interns here. They do a lot for us. They do a lot of work. They work really hard. But they generally fit into an age category, and you run into a lot of similar problems as you get new interns. So we do try to teach them things to help them in life later on, even though as I'm saying it, I might seem like an annoying dad or whatever to some of them. I hope that it helps them later in their relationships and in their future success. So a recent story I'll tell you guys. We are putting our place up for sale. So the morning we got photos taken, we were running around and cleaning stuff up, and I noticed that the barn was a little bit flooded. So when I left the hose on, and it really wasn't bad, like there was no standing water, it was just wet, and maybe you could call it muddy, but it was just wet really. So I didn't think much of it. I didn't really say anything. It did get brought up at one point, and there was some laughing about who did it because we have 2 interns right now. And I didn't say anything because I thought, they're old enough. When they make a mistake, they know it's a mistake. Like, I don't need to go say, hey, you need to turn that water off next time before it floods. I figure once they, for me, if I did it, I would just try not to do it again, or at least not anytime soon. But I was going to have a talk to him about maybe mentioning it to us next time. So the next day, I go out there and I'm moving hay early in the morning, and the barn this time is flooded, like standing water puddles, probably because it was flooded the day before. So this time it's like, and I'm not saying flooded like every pen had 6 inches of water. There's a path of water and standing water, and so the horses aren't standing in water, and there's only 3 of them up there right now. So, but I thought, okay, we need to have a talk because it's not about the mistake. Like, we all make mistakes, but it's not about the mistake. And so I wanted to help them understand what is more important when you make a mistake. And this, a lot of people can use this in their jobs. A lot of people don't realize this. My dad taught me this. And it's to tell people when you make a mistake. So I asked, Seth is the one that did it. I probably shouldn't go name calling on here, but Seth is the one that did it 2 days in a row. And so we had a little team meeting, and I said, okay, Seth, he likes to go hog hunting with our farrier sometimes. I said, if you go hog hunting and the next day you get home and Hannah's her vehicle's blue, I said, you get home 1 in the morning, you go to work the next day. You work with Hannah, you see her several times, you've talked, you've seen us, we've talked. And then at 1 o'clock you go in and have your lunch, take your break, and you notice a big dent on the side of your car with some blue paint. And you look at Hannah's car, she's got the same problem, a dent with, I call it old man beige, his car, old man beige, but it's got your old man beige and a dent on her car. So I said, how do you feel? He's like angry, obviously. I said, how do you feel towards Hannah? And he said, well, I don't like her. And I'm like, in that moment, I'm like, no, like, what would you feel moving forward in your relationship? And I didn't think he was going to get this, but I said, if you were in your relationship day to day, how would you feel about her? And he said, well, I would probably lose a lot of trust in her. And I said, that's it. I said, is it because she hit your car? And he said, no, it's because she didn't tell me she hit my car. And I said, that's it. So I said, it's hard here. We have a lot of people come and go. I don't mind if you break a poop fork. I don't mind if you leave a water running. What I mind is finding it myself. I would prefer you tell me. I said, I don't care if it's a poop fork. I don't care, if it's a really minor little thing. But what happens when you don't tell me and I find it, I feel like you were hoping I wouldn't find it. And what else has this happened with? Have you broke other things and not told me? Have you lost things of mine? When I'm in the in my shop and I'm looking for a certain wrench or pliers, did you use them and not put them back? And so when I lose your trust because you don't tell me about the water, it happens throughout our whole relationship, and I'm not sure if I can trust anything. So he was pretty understanding, but my dad taught me this lesson a long time ago, and I don't think I received it very well. I don't think I really got it until now, being the boss and realizing what it feels like to show up and have something broken, and you know who did it, and they don't, a lot of your parents, so you get this too. When you have one kid and something's broken, it's pretty easy. When you got 2 or 3 or 5 of them little suckers and find something, they're all like, I don't know, I didn't use it, I don't know what happened, that's weird. It gets tough, it's hard when you've got several, but it's bad when you make a mistake. It's worse when you don't tell somebody, and then it's even worse when you get caught and you lie about it. So there's stages of this that make it worse. So I do appreciate when I tell someone, hey, did you do this? And they say, yeah, I did. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. But if they say, no, I don't know, and I kind of know, or maybe I saw it happen, it's hard to employ that person. If someone comes to you and they say, hey, I'm really sorry, I broke one of your coffee cups. Man, I dropped it, and like, you don't care, it's a coffee cup. Or, hey, I broke this poop fork. That happens when you're cleaning poop. Like, you're gonna break the poop fork. When they tell you, it makes you feel like, I can trust them. Like, they come to me for little stuff. Makes you feel like they'll come to you for the big stuff. So it's okay to make mistakes. It's just not okay to not tell people. And one of the things I told them is, I said, it's hard nowadays because you can't just say, I was gonna tell you when I saw you and then I forgot. No, you can whip your phone out, text me, hey, this happened, sorry, my mistake. And you don't even have to say it won't happen again, because like, I know what having interns is like, and it happens again. So that's one of the things I joke about. When an intern wants to come for like 3 months or less, I normally tell them, look, I'm not going to teach you to drive my tractor, because every intern that learns to drive the tractor has to run it into something before they understand what I mean when I say be careful. Once I say, hey, be careful. Oh, yeah, I got it. Yeah, I drove my dad's tractor. They have to run it into something first before it clicks in their brain how to be careful. And, so if you're not going to be here long enough, there's certain things I don't have you do here because I know you have to make mistakes. I already made the mistakes. So, I'm less likely to make them. Hannah drives the tractor. Hannah puts out hay. Well, she's here for a year. Like, hey, it's worth my investment to teach her how to put out hay. And I bet she was here 4 months before she got to do it on her own, 4 or 5. Like, she was here a while before she got to do it on her own. And actually, I don't think she's had, knock on wood, I don't think she's had any issues with the tractor. So that's been good. But you kind of expect it. You hope no one gets hurt. But, they're going to make mistakes when you teach them new things. They're going to make mistakes when they're doing things they're not used to. So I would suggest, just remember this lesson. When you make a mistake and it's really small, it's a great time to tell your boss and let them know you messed up so they can trust you. It's also a great habit to build, to be the kind of person that owns up to their mistakes. You might still get in a little bit of trouble, but that person will probably look back later and say, I don't know if everyone would have told me they did that, because I probably would. I've got 15 employees and I couldn't have figured out who did that. So the fact that guy will tell me, I'd rather that guy be in charge when I'm gone, because I know he'll tell me what happened, than someone that won't tell me. And so we talked to another friend that they went through the same thing with a 21-year-old kid. He would break stuff, wouldn't tell him. And I don't think it's necessarily just the current generation at that age. I think it's people at that age weighing the options and saying, is it better to not get caught? And they think it's better to try to not get caught and get caught than it is to just fess up. And I totally disagree. And from my standpoint, the best path is to be honest. And even if you get fired, like, that person will look back later, hey, I got to fire you, but like, thanks for telling me. And it's just, you're just better off that way. So I hope that helps. I hope that's a good lesson. If you are a parent, I hope you can try to teach that to your kids early. I think most kids are going to try to hide their mistakes. It's hard when you make mistakes. You feel bad, and I don't think most people hide their mistakes out of being evil. I think they do it because they feel bad and they don't want to face that. So admit what you did, let them know, big or small. It's just the best way to go, and build that trust with those people around you and let them know you're reliable. And yeah, I hope that helps. We'll see you guys next time.